Thank you, Mr. Thank you, Jim. Ah, yes. I should be banned from everything soon. Banned from the East Finchley Boy Scouts Club. Terrible. Singe's lalkaka. Singe's thing. Singe's thing. That's what I like. Singe's thing. Oh! Two Hindus played by Peter and Spike. Well, now, Spike was born in India, as you know, and I spent about 3 years out there, so we started to bring this sound back. Now, a lot of people came back from India at that time and suddenly knew the sound very well, but couldn't, you know, they hadn't heard anybody. What I want to know, sir, no, please, but it's that was that.
How do you mean that was that?
Well, they became incredibly popular, those two. Fred Bogg, it said, a Cockney idiot played by Harry. Now, I can't remember Harry doing this. Harry used to do quite a few voices. I can't remember the Fred Bogg voice. I can't remember that one. Cyril, a friend of Spike and Peter. Cyril Waterman was a chap who used to live in these flats, you know. And Cyril was the sort of fellow who had to do something before you had done it. Now, if we'd been to the Palladium to see a top of the bill, and we saw, say, he said, we saw Sid Nerge last week, Cyril. He said, I've seen him. So I said, he's only open last night. He said, oh no, I've seen him. He went to the south of France. I tell you a terrible thing. He went to the south of France, and he said, who do you think I saw in the south of France? So I said, I don't know. He said, Don Andrews. And then he said, he's a confirmed alcoholic. I mean, I'm sure he never met Down. I don't know how he knew. Probably Down Andrews never had a drink in his life.
I'm sure not.
That was in thing to know about. Yeah. Cyril. I've seen him. I wonder if he's listening to that. It's funny. Listening. What am I talking about? It's radio. It's television. Hearn salesman. Ernest Hearn, a solemn, humorless American announcer, voice used by me. Yes, I used to do that. I used to say, well, on the harp of the Hearn. We used to use the sounds, American sounds. We didn't use words. This is the American bar of the Hearn part of the lane, on the Hearn, and Hearn part of the Hearn. And here, African chief, used or based on Big Chief Ray Ellington, bim bum bala boo. He was always chasing Bloodknock, for, you know, very sort of naughty reasons, you know. He said, don't come in, Ellinger. Don't come in. He said, me won't come in, make you prisoner, Bloodknock. Come inside, me come in. And then as soon as he got in, Bloodknock would rush out the door and nail it up. Oh dear, a quavering duchessy voice used by Peter. Oh, I used to use a duchessy voice. I've always done that one. Oh, my dad. I know, dirty stuff, but I can't tell. But, it was so terribly like that. They all live in Eaton Square or Belgrade Square. And they were so terribly like that. Oh, terribly. They used to do a lot of it.
When you work with somebody like Spike on a film or whatever, you've got a reputation of being a hell of a giggler, haven't you? I mean, you corpse on set and this sort of thing. Did you have that problem with Spike at all?
Yes, but we usually laugh before it happens somehow or other. Other times, you know, I don't know, it's when the laughter gets over you or takes you over.
Yes. Who are the other great gigglers, Peter, that you know about?
Well, there's a lot of them in the business. O'Toole, you know, Peter O'Toole is a notorious giggler. When he was making Lawrence of Arabia, do you ever remember the scene, Lawrence of Arabia, where King Faisal, played by Alec Guinness, welcomed Peter O'Toole and Anthony Quayle into his tent to listen to a passage read from the Quran? They'd ridden through the desert. Now, O'Toole usually likes to have, or used to like to have anyway, you know, a bit of the old shampoo in the morning, and to sort of warm up. And Anthony Quayle is pretty straight-faced. Actually, he was once described, obviously very wrongly, by John Gielgud as having a face like 2 tins of condemned veal. Which is a rather cruel way, but I mean, you know what I mean? It's a sort of image. And he never broke up, you see, but O'Toole was breaking up continuously. And the problem was this. As they came into the tent, Guinness would say, and David Lean's a stickler for reality, you know. And they were filming in the middle of the desert. Now, believe it or not, Sam Spiegel, who is Jewish, had managed to con King Hussein of Jordan into allowing an English actor, to quote from the Quran. Now, to do this, I mean, this is an enormous con. I mean, it's an enormous coup to get this, you know, to enable this to happen. But providing there was a priest there who knew English and could tell if the Quran was misquoted, which it was never been, everything was okay. Now, the scene was that Peter came into the tent with Anthony Quayle, and they sat down, and Peter was having this terrible bout of giggles because a dear old actor, God rest his soul, who's passed by now, Henry Oscar, was playing Selim. This is a story told by Peter O'Toole to me. Couldn't remember the Quran, you see. I mean, there's masses of it, and he was quoting a section called The Brightness. And Alex said, "Oh, welcome, Orans, welcome to my tent. Sit down. We're just in time to hear Selim quote from The Brightness. Selim, give us the brightness." Now, this had happened several times, and Henry Oscar couldn't remember The Brightness, you see. He'd get a few words into it, but being a pro, he'd carry on. Even if he dried up, he'd keep it going. That was the main thing. That wasn't good enough for the priest, you see. And there would be something said round the back and they cut, you see. And O'Toole would get into a terrible state. And eventually, after 15 takes, Guinness, who'd been absolutely straight all this way, Alec Guinness said, Gentlemen, we are all professionals, for God's sake. Let us remember we are professionals." So David Lean said, look, let's all cut for about 10 minutes, let's go out, have a smoke, walk around the tent. They were in the middle of the desert with lights inside the tent, on top of the heat already. You can imagine what it was like. Henry Oscar's beard that was stuck on with spirit gum was coming off in the edges, and he was getting very nervous by this time, you see. So they start to walk around the tent outside, and O'Toole saying to himself, like we all do when these things happen, you know, "I must not laugh, I will not laugh, I cannot laugh. It's the end of my career. If I laugh again, I'm dead. I must not laugh, I will not laugh, I cannot laugh." Alec Guinness has another walk, you know. Alec Guinness walks like that. He says, "I hope they don't laugh." So they all get inside again, you see. But this time they've tatted up old Henry Oscar's beard with a bit more spirit gum. They've written a bit of Quran on each fingernail. Everywhere he looks there's a bit of Quran, so he can't go wrong. On the table, up this fellow's nose, everywhere. So David Lean says, "Okay, let's have another go." Now O'Toole said, I must not laugh, I will not laugh, you see. And he's all set. In comes with the condemned veal. He comes in the thing. And no disrespect to Anthony Quayle at all, please. He comes in the room, and Guinness says, David Lean says, "Action." In comes O'Toole, and Guinness says, "Welcome, Orans, welcome. We were just listening to Selim quoting from the Quran, from a selection called The Brightness. Please sit down with Captain so-and-so and listen." And now, and he turned round to Henry Oscar, who was all glued up and everything, and he said, "And now, Selim, give us the..."
He totally blew it.